Okay, so this is the last question of the lesson. We talked about how to find constant changes in rates of tables and constant rate of change in graphs. So now we're comparing both of them. We're comparing a table and a graph. So the table and graph show hourly rate to rent a bicycle at two different stores. So if you look at right here, the table represents the store pedals rentals, and then the graph represents the store supercycles. So I'm comparing pedal rentals to supercycles. And what I want to know is which one charges more, which one costs more to rent bicycles. In order to determine this, you're going to find a constant rate of change. You're going to find the unit rate of pedals rentals in the table format and then supercycles in the graph format. So just to remind you, in order to find the constant rate of change of a table, you're going to do your change in your dependent variable, which is y, the change in y, divided by the change in your independent variable, which is the change in x. So the change in y divided by the change of x. So I'm going to put it here. We're going to find a constant by doing change in y divided by change of x. So first, we need to know what is my y and what is my x. So y is your dependent. Which is my dependent variable? Cost or time? Which one can I control? Which one depends on the other? So if you think about it, I can't control time, but I can control the money. So the cost depends, how much you pay, depends on how many hours you're renting. So that means that money has to be dependent, which means x is going to be our independent, which is time. So now we know that we're doing money divided by hours. So now all you have to do is find the change. 24 to 36 was 12. 36 to 48 is also 12. So the change by subtracting 36 minus 24 gives me 12. And then 48 to minus 36 also gives me 12. So I know that my change in y is 12. Now how much is x changing by? X went from 2 to 3 to 4. That means it is changing by 1. So your change in x is 1. So 12 divided by 1 just gives you 12 over 1. So the y was money, so $12 for 1 hour of renting. This is pedals rentals. Pedals rentals was $12 per hour. Now let's deal with supercycles. Supercycles is a graph. So what we're going to do with graphs, just to remind you, you need to do y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. So to find your constant, you're going to do y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. So just to remind you, what we did first was we pick any 2 points. I'm going to pick the easiest ones. I'm going to pick this point, which is 0, 0. And I'm going to pick this point right here. So point 1 is going to be 0, 0. And point 2 is going to be this one. So x goes before y. So that's 1, 8. Okay, so first step, pick your 2 points. I picked the 2 easiest ones, 0, 0 and 1, 8. Next, set them up as in y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. So before I do that, I have to label them. I know that these values here, these right here, are my x's. So that means that since this is point 1, this is going to be x1. And since this is point 2, this is going to be x2. And then these points right here are my y's. Since this is point 1, this is going to be y1. And since this is point 2, this is going to be y2. Now all you have to do is set it up. y2 is 8. right here. Y2 is 8 minus Y1. Y1 is 0 divided by X2 minus X1. X2 is 1 and X1 is 0. So 8 minus 0 is 8 over 1 minus 0 is 1. So remember Y was on top. If you look at the Y graph, if you look at the graph, Y is money. So since Y goes on top, that's $8. And then X is hours. So $8 for 1 hour. $8 for 1 hour. So Pedals Rentals was $12 for 1 hour. Super Cycles was $8 for 1 hour. Which one charges more? Which was more expensive? Which one charges more? That's going to be Pedals Rentals. Why is it Pedals Rentals? Because Pedals Rentals is $12 for 1 hour, while Super Cycles is $8 for 1 hour. So there you go. That is the lesson.